All right, this is the Hellion from the Hellion Rocks. You know, sometimes happy accidents occur. I can't tell you how these guys came across my radar, but I found this band, Red Sky Mary, just a couple of days ago, and I've been blowing them up to everybody that you guys know. And here I have them on the show with me today. Guys, how are you?
Good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sweet. So I have Sam, vocalist, and Tom on guitars. You know, first off out of the gate, I got a chance to listen to the record, and I've got to say, I give it a 15 out of 10.
You're way too nice already.
And that's serious, you know. I here in this day and age of the way the music industry's going, you know, everybody says rock's dead and whatnot. Listen to the new Red Sky Mary album. That rock and roll is not dead. Tell me how you guys came to be, man.
Well, it's a very long story. Sam and I have actually been best friends since we were literally 2 years old. So we met at playgroup, and we grew up together. And then we basically, how we came to be as we are now is when we were about 16, we started our first band together, and that was called Pure Decibels. And it was a very
AC/DC on roids.
Yeah, AC/DC on steroids. A very high school rock band. And so we just started playing together, and that would be about 9 years ago. Yeah, like 9 years ago. That's when that was in high school. And so we've just been doing it, you know, practicing and playing as much as we can ever since. And then a few years down the road, we've kind of grown up a little bit, and we just had some lineup changes and stuff like that. And then Barrett came on board, our drummer, and so we changed the name to Red Sky Mary, and then we kind of got away from the AC/DC on roids approach, and we started listening to more music and try to be more well versed. We got really into the Black Crowes and some soul music and Humble Pie and obviously like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. Government Mule, yep, a lot of that stuff.
And those bands that you mentioned, I can definitely take away from you can hear the influences in the music, but yet again, you guys are keeping it original. It's you're not copying these bands, but it's a reflection on the greatness that they brought to us. So great music that you guys are bringing out.
Thank you.
We really when Sam and I growing up, and Barrett too, and our bass player Gary. There was never a time when Sam and I decided, okay, this is what we want our band to sound like. Really, it just is what we always listened to growing up. Like my first favorite band for years and years and years was Kiss. And I remember when I was 11 years old, went to go see him. That's what made me want to do what I do. And so we just grew up listening to AC/DC and Kiss and Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith and all these bands. Not that we didn't like other stuff too, but that's just what we listened to. So
we were raised to write.
Yeah, and so what comes out when we try to write tunes and stuff like that is just a product of all the stuff we listened to for years and years.
Yeah, it's a very natural, I guess it's been a very natural evolution in the way we've kind of grown musically and what our taste is and how our writing process is, and we try to keep it as grounded in originality as we can.
Yeah.
And it works. The formula works. The thing that, listening to the record and listening just over and over, the thing I get from you guys is an organic flow. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think you guys are making music for the sole purpose of making music, not trying to make a buck out of it. You guys are, music's in your blood and in your soul, and that's the whole purpose behind the band, correct?
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. A buck would be nice eventually, but that's for sure not the the main. You don't become a guitar player to make a bunch of money, or at least I didn't. So
yeah. Sorry, I got off track.
Yeah, you're right. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. You have to like what you're doing in this business. So that's, I would say, you hit the nail on the head there. We're really just trying to be us.
And the whole fact that people are saying rock and roll is dead, well, we're not going to let that happen. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely a mission statement of mine. Thinking back to those early bands, 70s, 80s, almost into the 90s. Before they the industry came in and started writing big old checks. These guys were making music, like I said, from their souls and their hearts, and that music stands the test of time. It seems that a lot of these bands that put out fast food music for any other form I could put it out as this fast food music and make a buck. Those songs are they're in your ears and gone right away. They don't stand the test of time. And the songs that you guys are putting out are in that quality. I think that if you were ever given the shot, if everybody wakes up and starts listening to bands that matter, that definitely I could see a history with you guys, further down the road.
Thank you. Yeah, we hope so. Yeah. And I do think there's like a lot of positive stuff going on in the music world. Whether it's mainstream or not. Like I don't know if you know, there's bands like Blackberry Smoke and the Rival Sons and Monster Truck, or just to name a few, like quote unquote real rock bands that they really just try to like write organic like rock tunes. Kind of similar to us, but in their own thing. I know Crowbot is another one. So there is, Vintage Trouble is another great one. And yeah, I know. So there is like this kind of, we feel we're happy about if we can be a part of it. There's like this kind of rock revival thing going on, just bubbling beneath the surface, and it's pretty exciting to hopefully be a part of that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, all of those bands that you mentioned are definitely bands that are on my radar that I've been telling people about.
Yeah.
And I'm racking my brain here. I really, honestly, I just stumbled across you guys by accident, and what a happy accident that was. And in this day and age, with so many bands out there and so many people putting their music on social media and the radio not having the freedom, giving the DJs freedom to play music, it's a rough road out there for you guys.
Yeah, you just gotta work hard at it and try to keep your stuff together. That's all one can do, really.
If we're gonna be remembered for something, it will be we worked our asses.
Yeah, we were the ones that just like stuck to it. That's part of it too. Is just realizing that everything takes about 10 times longer than you feel like it should, and having that mentality moving forward, is important. Yeah.
Perfect. Satisfy my curiosity is for the Red Sky Mary. Tell me about that, man.
The name?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, it's actually a pretty funny story. Usually I just have a kick at shows and stuff to make it brief because it is a long story. So people come and ask me about that. And I usually just say, a lot of LSD, man. We just on the stage. But that is not the case. It's just I was on my computer doing something not even Red Sky Mary involved, and the name just, I don't know, came to me. Like I just thought of it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And so I sent it out to the masses, Tom obviously being the first.
Yeah, he said to me, and I remember I was in my car on my way to my grandparents, or my mom's car, on my way to my grandparents' house, and Sam texted me, he's like, I got the name, because we were in the process of trying to change the name. And he sent it to me, and I was like, absolutely not. We're not doing this. And then we couldn't think of anything better, so I was like, all right, got to give it to him. So we went with it, and it's actually been a really good talking point. People ask about it a lot, and I guess that's, what you want is for people to wonder about it, right? So Sam did a really good job.
Yeah, absolutely. It sticks in your head, It's not something that that you easily forget. People are Red Sky Mary. In fact, I've been running around with all my cronies here. In fact, I was just in a recording studio, and we were discussing the state of rock and roll. And I said, oh, you know what? I just found this new band, Red Sky Mary, and we were jamming it through the studio, and people were just like, wow, my God, what a great band. And everybody remembered the name, so that was kind of cool.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So, brand new release for you guys coming out. You've got a few prior to, but now on Carved Records.
Yeah.
Tell me how was the process for this new album? Did you guys change it up? Or what was, how do you guys, actually what I'm looking for is, how do you guys record and write? Is it organic in the studio, or do you guys go in and do your pieces by yourselves? What's the process for Red Sky Mary?
Well, it's been always kind of evolving. This one was different than all the other ones. The other ones were all independent releases, just like the band did it. And so it was kind of like, all right, book studio time. We have these 6 songs that we did, and we're pretty sure we're going to use them because we don't have any more. and we had to write more in the studio.
Yeah, 3 weeks, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of what we did, and which we then later found out that there's some pretty legitimate artists like Jack White and the Rival Sons who do that on purpose. They give themselves a limited amount of time, and they to force themselves to be creative. We of course did not do it on purpose. It was just necessity. But this one, we had a while. We were all happy to get to work in a different atmosphere. We wrote the record really for like a year before we went out and recorded it in Chicago with Johnny K and Matt. And we went through a ton of different material and a bunch of different songs, and we get to road test, and by road test I mean play live, like pretty much the whole record before we even started the recording process, and we get to work with, a bunch of like awesome musicians on the way. We get to work with a guy, Mark, who helped sit in and work on some, arrangements with us, and then we had the honor to work with Lauren Hubert out in LA, he's worked with Aerosmith and The Fray, and then we get to work with Dave Cobb. And that was excellent, too, because we really love that band, The Rival Sons, and he does all their records. So, and then Johnny K, of course, is great, too, and Matt. So we really got to kind of take our time and, kind of learn how to be in the studio more than we've had a chance to, just because, Card Records was behind us in this one, and so they were really helpful in letting us, we took our time, and, we all just tried to make a good record. And, I think one of the strongest points of it is that there really, and maybe you agree or disagree, just be honest with me, that there's not a bunch of songs that sound the same on this record. They all kind of have their own niche. And so we were happy that we had the time we did to write and record it because of that, especially.
Nice. The album we're talking about is the new release from Red Sky Mary. It's called River Child. And what you just said, there's no filler on the record. Each track
Thank you.
tells an independent story. It's one of those rare albums that you can put on and not skip any tracks because you're afraid you're going to miss something. And I'm not just saying that because I got you guys here. That's to me, that's one of the criteria for a great record is when you put it on and then you're going, oh, it's over. And you gotta hear it again.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
So it's it definitely reaches in, and it has a lot of feeling and a lot of passion, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about writing your songs. They come from deep within you guys. Are they personal stories, or where does the songwriting come from?
Just a collaborative effort, I guess, on honing in on everybody's emotions and making one story, really. Everybody takes part in making the one story, and that's what we're trying to make. Each song is a story, and making it the most badass story that we can.
Yeah, and everybody, it's a very collaborative effort, and we all, everybody gets input, and, we've kind of, evolved our writing process to the point now where everybody kind of knows, what to expect, and, if you're going to bring a song to the band, because we all, contribute to the writing process pretty majorly. And, if you're going to bring a song to the band, then, it's kind of, as we're a team, so everybody kind of gets to say, So we try to keep that and keep it honest. And that, I think that part of the passion comes from everybody really cares about what we're doing. So everybody cares about, the songs. They're not just inundated in their own part or whatever. It's all about what makes the song better and what we can all do to help bring that song or, in this case, album or whatever, to be the best that we can get it to be.
Nice. Great job. You guys have accomplished that perfectly.
Thank you. Still working on it.
Now,
Still working on it.
Well, if it gets any better than this, man, you guys are definitely going to be staying on my radar for sure. So let's talk about live performances. Now that you're going to be having, a bigger record out, bigger release out with a little more, Carb Records behind you guys. Going to take this on the road?
So we hope. We're working on it. We've got some pretty exciting dates coming up this summer that we'll be stoked to announce pretty soon. And, we're also excited to we play we do all of our booking ourselves pretty much. And, we're excited to hopefully get to the next level and get to more of the national arena because we're a New England-based band. And we really haven't we focused mostly regionally at this, the last 5 years or so. So we really would like to, take it on the road, and hopefully with this record, we feel it's a personal best, and we hope that it gives us something to push that helps us get, past the borders of New England.
Yeah. Nice. I hope so too. Now let's talk live performances, man. Now, one of the things that I really dig about live bands, and I'm hoping this is true for you guys, that when you guys play live, we're not just getting the songs off the record. I think they transform into the mood and the feelings of the evening, and they become more than what's been laid down on record. Is that how you guys play?
Yeah, we try to. I don't know, we've always been a live band, for real from the get-go. And so I would say that we, they definitely you can get, I feel like we're still learning how to be a band in the studio, and live, we're always just learning in general. But so live is kind of home for us, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's intentional to make the songs, come alive a little bit more when we do a live performance, but I'm sure that, our comfort with the material and our comfort of, playing live makes that, come out a little bit. We'll change some things up and extend some things, and, there's there'll be some Easter eggs and nuggets that we do live that don't happen on the record or whatever.
And, it always helps to have a bunch of people screaming at you and really into the moment and the mood of the song, it transforms itself then.
That's perfect. One of the things that disappoints me is when I go see a band and I get the record, that's just a live representation of the record, and they hold true to it. There's a lot of bands out there that I've talked to after the fact, I messed up, I didn't play that song right, and nobody would have known that they messed up. It's just a live representation of the music, and I really like bands that just let themselves go. So cool.
Yeah.
Now, moving forward, you guys are going to keep recording, I hope, and get bigger and bigger and bigger. What kind of goals would you guys like to have happen to you guys?
Well, we want to get a booking agent. that would be one thing that would be great. And, we hope that we can, kind of evolve the sound of the band, and really, it would be cool to bring some different elements into the music as we grow, try some maybe things that we haven't tried before. And, really just kind of keep a steady, upward kind of chugging motion, to get a little, get better. Everybody really works hard on their chops and on their, kind of what their role is in the band. Our bass player is, believe it or not, it's my father, Gary, and he has this saying, just like the New England Patriots, everybody do their job. And so that's that's kind of the band motto right now, and kind of what we're trying to do. And, that, will translate to future recording and writing and stuff like that.
Awesome. See, now that you said a key word there, evolving. And that, to me, that's what a lot of bands need to do. They get stuck in a rut. And then you get, and I'm going to throw it out there, you get people, Slayer, and their band, no, Slayer. So, well, all you're going to have is a band that just sounds like Slayer. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not picking on Slayer. They've had great accomplishments. It's just that band first came to mind. I know a lot of people that, all I listen to is this band, and their band subsequently sounds just like that band. And we already have that band. Why do we need another one?
Yeah.
Evolve, constantly grow. Like when Metallica changed it up, they were trying to grow, and people got upset with that, and I was like, I applauded them. Yeah, hey, great, great, trying to move on, try to become different, and I could see a band like Red Sky Mary continuing that evolution, like you said, bringing in some different elements and stuff. You've got the voice, you've got the sound, the guitar playing's great, everything blends together right, and I think that by growth, you can only expand your audience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think part of that too is, you talk about everything takes longer than you think. Like you think a band like the Stones or whatever, as long as you keep trying and keep caring, I think that the evolving kind of takes care of itself, because you're forced to try to do new things and, create new, sounds, or, make a new sound for a specific record or a specific song. And sometimes, sometimes that's not the coolest way to go, but sometimes you also get, great things out of it. So, we're just in an ever-changing process.
And something we don't want to get is too comfortable with one thing.
Yeah.
We're always dipping our feet into something new and then, working on it and working through it.
Yeah.
That's great. And the Stones was a great example. I'm an older cat. I'm 50, so I've been around for quite a while. And I obviously don't remember the early days of the Stones, but you can take a look at the history of them and see the evolution that they've done. Sometimes things not so great, sometimes things absolutely great, but yet they had that wherewithal to keep at it, and they're still here.
Yeah, and that's, what more of a testament can you have to a band or a project than that, something that stands the test of time.
Nice. One track that I want to talk about, and I've played it for several people, and it's jaw-dropping for them, and I want to know about it, is I Will Wait for You. Tell me about that.
Well, musically, it was, as always, it's a collaborative effort, and we kind of wanted to do something we wanted to do a ballad on the album, but we also wanted to do a Red Sky Mary ballad. So we kind of just started with this little piece, and I had some words jotted down, and it really just grew from there until this kind of I don't want to say epic, but very much in a very emotive piece, and I think the song really reflects that. And I actually wrote the lyrics for my girlfriend, who I love very much, so I was very happy to almost give her a tip of the hat, and this is for you, darling. And we're all very happy with it. And like I said, if we're gonna do a ballad, we're gonna do it the Red Sky Mary way, and give as much soul and oomph as we can.
It definitely translated that way, and the vocals, everything just fit, and it's reminiscent, of some Black Crow stuff, but yet, like you said, it's definitely Red Sky Mary, and the people that I played it for, hard rockers and stuff, and they just kind of stopped and wow, that's a really good track. And I think to me, personally, that's the standout track on the record. I did a review of it already. It's up online, and I don't know, it just has a lot of feeling and, like you said, a lot of soul. And I think that's missing from a lot of music today, is that soul element. And I'm just floored that young guys like yourselves have taken up that mantle, and I can't really, honestly, I can't say enough good things about you guys, really.
You're too nice to us. Thank you.
Thank you. And tapping into the whole aspect of music, I agree with you. There is sometimes some bands and songs get a little too mechanical and don't kind of just tap into the feeling of emotion that the song wants, it requires. So we did definitely try to keep that element throughout the whole writing and recording process.
And it shows. It shows that you guys cared and took the time to do it. Mm-hmm. And so how did you guys get involved with Card Records, man? That's a pretty good.
Pretty hilarious story.
Pretty good score.
A lot of our stories are. So basically, we were, as I said, we've gone through some lineup changes and stuff like that over the years, and we opened for their band Texas Hippie Coalition, and we opened for them in a bar in Seabrook, New Hampshire, which is about half an hour, 45 minutes away from where we live. And that must have been how many years ago? 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. And we opened for THC, and we weren't even the opener, direct opener. We were the opener to the opener. I'm pretty sure we went on at 7:09 p.m. on a Sunday or a Thursday or something. It was raining, and we were all in college. I think Barrett wasn't even. I think he was still in high school at that point. And so, it's an off night. It wasn't a Friday or Saturday. It was a Thursday. Again, super early slot. But, we worked really hard. Okay, we got this opening spot. We're going to try to do a good job, obviously. And so we opened for him, and so Big Dad Rich, the front guy in THC, called the record label, and he was like, you got Carb being the record label. He's like, you guys got to check this band out. And so we actually got an offer from them like a long time ago, but it really wasn't the right time for RSM, just because, like, honestly, at that point, we couldn't even afford a lawyer to look at the contract. And so I remember just thinking, you never want to sign anything you don't know what you're signing. And so, we were just like, it wasn't the right time for us. And we were like halfway through college, and it was just not the timing wasn't proper. But then a couple of years down the road, we were taking it more seriously, and we were playing a lot more, and we had done a couple more records at that point. So, we felt more experienced and stuff. And my good buddy at this point, Phil, who I've known for years, over at the record label, we had kept in touch, and I would text him or whatever once in a while. And so I remember after we put our last record out and we started to get some momentum off of that, I was just reached out to him and was like, hey man, RSM is, ready to take another, I think we're ready to do a recording contract now, because we were in a better spot to do so. And so that, they were like, okay. And powers that be were, they felt that we were ready also. And so they sent us another deal, and we could afford a lawyer to look at it. And, we signed it, and we've had a really good experience with Carb thus far. We've been with them for about 2 years now.
That's awesome story. It's funny is THC and I go way back as well, so that's kind of cool.
That's great.
So, lessons learned from you guys. What piece of advice, if you got some young band come up to you to talk to you, what would you give these guys? What would you tell them?
Number one, practice.
Yeah.
Practice all the time.
Yep. And I always just say, my day job is I teach guitar, and the number one thing is just work hard, like literally, and because it's different for whatever you're trying to do, but do something every day, try to book a gig every day, write a song every day, whatever your job is in your whether you're a solo singer, songwriter, or you're the guy who books the band, or you write the tunes, or however you go at it, just work hard. That's the only consistent thing that I've found in the business is those who work really hard, and it's not always instantaneous, but you put the time in and you keep at it. You work hard and you don't give up. That's what makes the real dudes.
Perfect. Now, second thing before we sign off the air here, this is going out to 170 countries. This is your opportunity to tell the world what you want to tell them about Red Sky Mary. It's yours. The floor is yours.
Oh boy, now I feel really on the spot.
Like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Red Sky Mary.
Honestly, support rock and roll. We're gonna quote I don't know if you know about the band Airborne, but we're gonna quote Airborne here. Stand up for rock and roll. If you feel that you want rock and roll to quote unquote come back and want to have a revival, it's in the power of the people. It's not the power of the band. It's really the fans and the people who support music and love music and art and rock. And if you want to see rock come back around, that's who has the power. It's not Red Sky Mary. It's not Rival Sons or Monster Truck. It's the people.
And you can help that by also pre-ordering our album.
Yeah, you can pre-order Riverchild at redskyMary.com or Facebook.com/RedSkyMary.
Yeah, get out there and buy music, man, because that's what keeps these guys going, keeps them on the road, and keeps them able to make the music we all know and love. This is the Hellion from the Hellion Rocks. Red Sky Mary, and we're out.